My name is Kris Rangel, and I'm a member of the SA Cancer Council. When Michael passed away, it was the first part was just to get through the grief and all of that kind of stuff. But then it just turned into, okay, well, I have to do something. I have to make this mean something. It took a month for us to get to a diagnosis. And it was because, Michael had back pain. He had found a blood clot in his urine. There were all of these just really suspicious things going on, but he didn't tell me about it until it got really bad. And for that matter, with prostate cancer, it's not the type of cancer that just shows up out of nowhere, even with hyper-aggressive cancer like his was. So I just kind of wonder, to me, he didn't have any symptoms, but I just wonder if if things had been off for a while and he just never said anything. I have to believe that's the case, because you don't just suddenly get stage 4B prostate cancer after like a month. It's not how the disease works. I would just like for men to be more willing to listen to their bodies, to not push it down when something seems off, and to be willing to talk to their partners, talk to whoever they're close to and say, something's going on and I think I need help. And I don't know how you make that sort of cultural change, but I just don't want any other man to go through what my husband went through. All signs pointed to this is bad. And we had a really awesome doctor at Texas Med Clinic. He didn't have a primary care physician because he was young and healthy and irresponsible, I suppose. But we had a great physician there who took an interest and essentially said, this looks like prostate cancer. She got us hooked up with a urologist. We went in for the follow-up exam with Dr. Hudnall after the biopsy, and he said, you have prostate cancer. And I remember looking at Michael's face, and he just sat there for a second, and he just said, okay, what do we do? What I wish I would have been able to be brave enough as a caregiver to ask questions of these really, really smart people. Because if I would have asked different questions, I wonder if we would have made different decisions. He fought really hard. He wasn't ready to give up. But I think at one point in time, and I can remember when he kind of turned a corner to where I wish somebody I think what he would have wished is for somebody to say, dude, this is not going to end well. Let's just cut our losses and go travel, knock some things off the bucket list while you still can. I really think he would have appreciated knowing that. We might have avoided treatment altogether and just said, we're just going to enjoy the time that we have left. But again, I didn't know what questions to ask. And then you're dealing with, your husband too, and trying to, I wasn't the patient, he was. So I think that's the single biggest thing, was just being brave enough to ask the right questions, and not be afraid of sounding stupid. All the things that we loved to do together, we lost that. And it was sort of like I lost Michael twice. Once when we got the diagnosis and we lost our ability as a couple to do all the things that we just so loved to do. And then once again after he had passed away. So it was kind of a double whammy. Suddenly I had to do 100% of everything, which was hard, but I didn't mind doing it. But for me, the really tough thing was watching my husband, who was he was a soccer player, he was a boxer, he was a bike rider, he was a hiker, he was strong, and he had great legs, and to watch him go from being just that strong, happy-go-lucky, everything rolled off of him person to somebody who would curl up in a ball and cry, and to watch him go from being, 185 pounds and athletic to just being his legs were just sticks. And just, it was so hard not to feel sorry for him. The last words we ever said to each other were, "Love you." And not everybody gets that chance. And I'm so fortunate to have had that chance. What I wish I would have known about is the fact that, the SA Cancer Council existed. I didn't even know it was an organization until until I reached out to the organization myself, and then just to see that I could reach out to somebody to just talk to, or, on a day where it was like, I can't get groceries today, or I need a meal, like, to just know that there are resources out there that you can just ping and say, I need this. And people are going to jump to say, I understand the journey you're going through. Let me help you. And I wasn't aware of those organizations. So, I was fortunate as a caregiver to have people around me to, be a shoulder to cry on. But save for my cousin, there was nobody else out there who understood what I was going through. So, and again, that's part of the reason that I want to be involved in this, is because I get it. And you don't know until you go through it. Research is expensive to do. It's time consuming to do. It requires a tremendous amount of dedication. And the fact that there is an organization in San Antonio that is dedicated to not just helping patients directly, but also like providing funding for cancer research, like right here in our hometown, it's awesome. And it's important. And I'm passionate about it because I don't want somebody else to have to tell the story that I'm telling right now. I'm more than happy to be here and share my story if it means that other people will look at it and say, this is important work, and we want to be a part of it, so that there aren't other Kris Rangels out there or Michael Rangels out there. So